Hi friends, today we're going to be working on area and perimeter. Now hopefully this is just review because a little over a month ago we were together in our very own classroom learning about area and perimeter. So I hope that this all comes back to you as we're learning about it. But in honor of area and perimeter, I did wear my lawn gnome earrings because often these area and perimeter problems involve a garden or building something. So I thought lawn gnomes that you know I love so much were very appropriate. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to take a look at this lesson. Drag it here to the middle. I hope that you have a piece of paper, something to write with. If you do not, go ahead and grab that now. Alrighty, let me go back here a little bit so you can see the first page. Okay, area and perimeter. Our learning target is I can determine the area and perimeter of a figure. A figure is just a shape or some sort of space where we're trying to do calculations for it. Common units of measurement. We know in the United States, we most frequently use the U.S. customary system for measurement. That's inches, feet, yards, miles. We also need to be familiar with the metric system, though, because we know that that is the measurement of science, and it's what they use in other countries around the world. That includes millimeters, centimeters, and meters. We also use the metric system in track and field, so that's definitely something you want to be familiar with. So what is perimeter? I'm sure that you remember we had a little saying, perimeter is the distance around a shape. Right? Perimeter is just the distance around a shape. It is actually a linear measurement. Like if you took a string and laid it out all the way around the shape and then you unraveled the string, you could hold the string up next to a yardstick or a ruler and find the measurement. So when we're talking about the label for perimeter, we just say the unit. We don't need that square business that we need for area. So to find the perimeter, you need to add up all the sides of the shapes. Now we know there's a bunch of different formulas you could use. You could just add, length plus width plus width. You could do length times 2 plus width times 2, right? But you just need to add up all those sides. And you always need to write your answer with the unit of measurement. That is so important in measurement. Because if I'm telling you that I need some new carpet and I just say 16, well, I don't know if you're talking about 16 feet or 16 yards. So when we're talking about measurement and area and perimeter, that label is essential. So what is area? Well, area is the space inside a shape or building. How much area does it take up? Sometimes people will say, oh, I'm getting a new area rug. That's a rug that's going to take up a lot of space, right? So area is inside the shape. How do I find the area? Well, I know you guys remember this. We take the length times the width. Very good, length times width. So if we're looking at this piece of marble here, and the length is 5 meters, and the width is 3 meters, 5 times 3 is 15. So I put the M for meters as well as that little 2, which means squared. You can also write out square meters, or if you want to make it simple, use that little 2 symbol. So what is unit squared? Well, each shape actually has square units to represent the width and length. I want you to think back to when you were first introduced to multiplication, and you probably made rows and columns with little square-inch tiles, or maybe you used Cheez-Its. That's because your teacher was trying to have you have a visual of what multiplication is. It's the same for area. You're filling in a shape with lots of little squares. So if we're talking about feet, you're talking about a 1 foot by 1 foot square unit, and how many of those will fit inside a shape? When you multiply the width and length, it tells you how many squares fit inside your shape. So if we count the width, it's 4 columns. We count the length, it's 5 columns. 4 times 5 is 20 centimeters squared. There's 20 squares in there. So let's try some real life examples for practice. Here's where you're going to need your paper and pencil to practice along with me. Alrighty, friends. Let me see if I can bring this up a little bit here. John earns money by mowing his neighbor's lawn. He wants to know the perimeter in the area of the lawn. So for perimeter, he's going to use the formula length plus width plus width. Length looks like it's 8 feet, so 8 plus 8 is 16, whereas the width looks like it's 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. So if we're adding 16 plus 12, we know the perimeter is going to be just 28. But you're right, we can't just say 28. We need to add the label of feet. Now, area, the amount of space inside. Length times width. Love this one because it's one of my favorite facts. 6 times 8 is one of my favorite facts. 6 times 8, it is great because it equals 48. Sorry, my lawn gnome wanted to get involved. Yes, 48. What's our label going to be? Feet squared. Nice memory, friends. We measure area in squares. Let's check with the computer to see if we're right. Oh, yes, we are. 28 feet and 48 feet squared. Let's take a look at our next problem. Farmer Bob wants to put barbed wire fence around his farm. To do this, he needs to know what the area and the perimeter of his farm is. Go ahead, pause the video, do this work, find the perimeter, find the area, come on back. Helpful little hint, it looks like the length and width are the same at 7 meters. We know his barbed wire fence is going to be a square, so you can always take one side length times 4. Pause the video, come on back. Welcome back, friends. Yes, we figured out that the perimeter is 28 meters. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 28. 7 times 4 is 28. We add that label meters. How about the length times the width? Hey, that's another favorite fact of mine. When we're talking about 7 times 7, we flip it upside down. We've got the goalpost of the 49ers. 7 times 7 is 49 meters squared. Let's check this work. I think my face might be in front of the answer, so hopefully that was a little better for you. You can see it, 49 meters squared. We use that little 2, or you can write SQ period, right, which is the abbreviation for squared. Here's another one. Paula wants to lay carpet in the living room. In order to do so, she needs to know the area and perimeter. Pause the video, do this work, come on back. Welcome back, friends. I'm sure when you were finding the perimeter, you said, well, length is 10 inches, 10 plus 10 is 20. Width is 9 inches, 9 plus 9 is 18. 18 plus 20, we're looking at 38 inches of carpet. Area, we're talking about the length times the width. 10 times 9, 90, you got it. Inches squared. Go ahead and add that inches squared, because when we're talking about area, that label is so important. Alrighty, inches squared, there it is. Next problem. Susan wants to put tile down in her kitchen. Hey, I told you when you own your own home someday, you are going to need to know this area and perimeter business. Mrs. Camp has tile in her kitchen, on her floor, and on her walls. So I definitely had to calculate the area when we went to put that in and made home improvements. Okay, pause the video. Oh my goodness, the answer already popped up. That was a freebie, but let's talk through it anyways. Here we go. Perimeter, length, 4 plus 4 is 8. Width, 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 8, we're looking at 18 feet. The area, we take the length times the width, and we can fit 20 feet squared in there, or 20 square inches. Okay. George wants to put hardwood floors in his bedroom. Good choice, George. Hardwood floors always be looking nice. Hey, why do these keep popping up? I'm going back. I'm hiding that. Before he can put them in, he needs to know the perimeter in the area. So let's take a look at this shape. The length is 20. The width is 15. This is going to be some good math, friends. Go ahead and pause the video. Find that perimeter. Find that area. Welcome back, friends. I'm sure that you found the perimeter by doing 20 plus 20, which is 40, 15 plus 15, which is 30, 40 plus 30 is perimeter, 70 feet. Thumbs up if you got it. Very nice. Now let's talk area. You probably did 15 times 20 because you're awesome mathematicians. You might have used partial products. You might have used traditional. You might have got fancy and did a little mental math. I got fancy, did a little mental math. I said, okay, well, I'm just going to pretend in that 20 that 0 isn't there. I know 15 times 2 is 30. Tack on 1 0. So I'm looking at 300 feet squared for area. Thumbs up if you're with me. Let's check and see if we're right. Oh, we are 300. Let me pull that down. Feet square. Oh, it's going on to the next problem. Let me go back, friends. Mrs. Camp gets crazy with the screen. Yep, see? Perimeter 70 feet. Area 300 feet squared. Nice job. Okay, ooh, here's that garden problem. Oh, no. When I try and move the screen up, it always gives the answer. You guys are lucking out. Okay, here's that garden problem that my gnomes have been so excited about. Rita wants to put a flower garden in her backyard. Before she can plant her garden, she needs to know the perimeter and area. Pause the video. Help Rita. Come on back. Welcome back, friends. Let's talk perimeter first. 14 plus 14 for the lengths, 28. 12 plus 12 for the width, 24. When we add those up, we're looking at a perimeter of 52 yards. I agree. Now, for the area, you might have done partial products to solve 14 times 12. You might have done the area model. Hey, area model for solving an area problem? I like that. You might have done 14 times 12 using area model or traditional. Personally, what I did was use the simple fact that I know 12 times 12 is 144 and added on 2 more 12s. 144 plus 24. It got me to 168. Is that what you got? Nice work. Let's take a look and see if we are correct. 52 yards for perimeter, 168 yards squared for area. We are in the business. Here we go. Next problem. Oh, we got Mr. Collins here. Mr. Collins wants to put a chain link fence around the football field. To do so, he needs to know the perimeter and area. Pause the video. Solve this problem. Come on back. Welcome back, my friends. Let's talk perimeter first. 30 plus 30 is 60. 20 plus 20 is 40. 60 plus 40 is 100. I heard some of you forget the units, though. What are the units? Yards. You got it. Okay, I'm loving this problem for area. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this big math problem mentally. 30 times 20. Well, I'm going to use the simple fact. 3 times 2 is 6. Tack on 2 zeros, 1 from the 30, 1 from the 20. I'm looking at 600 yards squared, or square yards if you prefer. I like how they zoom up that little 2 as a good reminder. Area needs squared. Let's take a look at our next problem, friends. Ooh, Judy is getting a pool. Judy. Let me bring up the screen. Oh, no, don't do that to me. Here we go, friends. Let me bring up that screen. Okay. Judy convinced her husband that they need a pool in their backyard. Mr. Camp, can we get a pool in our backyard? He said no, but I'll convince him later, hopefully. The contractor will need to know the area and perimeter of the pool. Pause the video. Do this work. Loving this problem. 14 times 11, maybe for area you do this mentally because maybe you're going to use 14 times 10 and then add one more 14. Let's see what you got. Welcome back. Perimeter, we're looking at 14 plus 14 plus 11 plus 11. 14 plus 14 is 28. 11 plus 11 is 22. We're looking at 50 feet for perimeter. For area, we're taking the length of 14 times the width of 11. Maybe you did partial products. Maybe you did traditional model. Maybe you said, hey, 14 times 10 is 140, plus one more 14. We're looking at 154 feet squared. Let's see how we're doing on that one. We got it, friends. Next problem. Okay, looks like you're getting it. Now let's see if you can master the challenge of some test questions. Be sure to pay attention to the wording of these questions. Oh, we will. Let's take a look. Oh, my gnomes are liking this. We got a pumpkin problem. My cat Pumpkin probably likes it too. Jane wants to plant a pumpkin patch on her farm. If the length is 12 feet and the width is 8, what is the area of the pumpkin, or the space for the pumpkin patch? Pause the video if you need to. Solve this one. Welcome back. This was an area problem, so that means length times width. 12 times 8. If you weren't sure of that fact, you probably said, well, 10 times 8 is 80, and 8 times 2 is 16. 80 plus 16 is 96 feet squared. B. Very nice. Remember, your answer isn't correct unless you put units squared. Phil is a construction worker. He needs to apply stucco to a wall that is 10 meters in length and 7 meters in width. What is the perimeter of the space he needs to stucco? We're talking perimeter here. 10 plus 10 is 20. 7 plus 7 is 14. 20 plus 14 is 34 meters. Why does it not say square? Well, because this is a perimeter problem. That's a linear measurement. Next problem coming at you, friends. Henry is a roofer. The house he is working on has a roof with a length of 22 feet and a width of 12 feet. What is the area of the roof Henry is working on? Pause the video if you need to. Come on back. Now, friends, you might have used partial products. You might have used area model. You might have tried to do this mentally. You might have said 22 times 10 is 220. Add 2 more 22s, which is 44. I'm looking at 264 feet squared. A little obvious there on their answer choices, huh? My friends will not be fooled. You got to put that square when you're talking about area. Ooh, Sarah wants to plant a strawberry garden, did we hear garden? On the side of her house. She knows that the space where she wants to plant them has a width of 22 meters and a length of 26 meters. What is the perimeter of the space she wants to plant? Pause it if you need to. Come on back. Welcome back, friends. I was just doing that in my mind. 22 plus 22, 44. 26 plus 26. We're looking at 52. Add them together, 96 meters. Unfortunately, that is all, friends. I hope that you had a lot of success with these area and perimeter problems. There are some practice problems for you to complete and check your own work. So make sure you do that. Let me know if you have any questions. I would be happy to talk more area and perimeter with you. Good work, friends.